And we are live. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you all had an enjoyable break, whatever you got up to. The day has finally arrived. FPL is live for, well, it's not live yet. It's about to go live, I think. I was refreshing just now while we were waiting, and I'm getting an error message now. But I think we're going to go live in the next half an hour, so I thought I'd make a start early, kick things off. Feeling a bit rusty. I was feeling a bit nervous, actually. I haven't streamed for about 6 weeks now. But thank you all for joining me. I hope you all had a good break, whatever you got up to. So get your messages in the chat. Yeah, I think the game's going to launch imminently, so I thought we'd make a start early. Just talk about the new season. Obviously, there's this supposed new game mode coming as well. So I'm very interested to know what that is, what the game mode is, and how to play and so on. So yeah, if you manage to get in, let us know in the chat, and we hopefully we'll all get a good ID. Not that it really means much, a good ID. I think nowadays the only thing an ID is good for is if there's a tie in the monthly prizes, then they give it to whoever had the lowest ID. So the odds of an ID coming in handy, I think, are very low. But welcome everyone, welcome Kush, Mikkel, Harry, ABJ, Radu, Luna, Sirius, IJ Williams, Craig, THJD, Ravensky, Ethan, Spook, and everyone else here. Delia in the chat. Good to see the moderator still showing up. I do need to add more moderators, so if anyone's interested, let me know. I'll probably favour members rather than just anyone. But let me know. Brian, thank you as well for the 10 months. He says, hi Oscar, good luck to everyone this season. Yeah, I echo that. I'm very excited. Are you guys buzzing for the new season? I can't wait. Ethan says it's his 3rd season playing. How many seasons have you guys played for? My first was 2011-12, so that 12th season, I think, or 11th season. You've got experience as a mod. 3rd season for Way Too Easy. Good to see you in the chat, Alex. How we doing? Yeah, I'm really excited for the rest of the prices. Obviously, we'll talk about prices and so on while we wait. Lots to talk about, lots to unpack. They've been drip feeding the price reveals to us, obviously, over the last few days. And we had the last price reveal this morning, which was Man City, where we got KDB, Stones, Bernardo Silva and Grealish, I think it was. Grealish 7 mil, I think. Foden 7.5 mil. So we'll talk about that as well. The Man City options. I do wonder if Foden's actually going to be an under-the-radar pick. I think De Bruyne's got an injury, so if he's out for the start of the season, then maybe Foden will be the one playing that role. We'll have to see. 10th season for Yuzi. Delia says, have you accepted Ash's apologies, Oscar? Yeah, he rang me last night. For those that don't know, FPL Juice, they're like a studio FPL show. And they hired out a football pitch yesterday, and they had like a drone and all sorts to do some mini games like crossbar challenge and that sort of thing. And I was on my way there, and then they rang me and said, oh, we've cancelled because of the rain. So I was like, oh, that's a shame, but it was pissing it down, so I didn't really mind. And then I got back and they were like, oh no, we're actually going. But by that point I was like, I'm not going back out now. So anyway, we said we'll rearrange and do another one. It looked really good though. They had like proper drone shots of the football pitch. It was really well edited. Razfan, thank you for the 5 months as well. He says 4th season incoming, first template already. Yeah, so alright, let's talk about the template. Obviously we don't even know all the prices yet, but people have been making drafts based on the reveals we've had so far. And it does look early on, tell me if you guys agree or not, it looks early on like one premium is going to be the way people will go. Because you've got Haaland for 14 mil, and then you've got so many generous price players. In fact, what we'll do, let's go through some of the reveals so far, and then rate them out of 10 in the chat. Let me know what you think. Let's start with Ødegaard. So rate these picks out of 10 as an FPL pick, and based on their price and team and so on. So I'll start off with Ødegaard, 8.5 mil. What do you think out of 10? Does he make your teams? I think that's a very good price. I thought he'd be maybe 9. He scored over 200 points, right? And if I'm not mistaken, Bowen scored about the same points, and wasn't he 9 mil? 6 out of 10. 4 out of 10. I think that's a good price. He was the wasn't he the top scoring midfielder? He scored even more than Saka, didn't he? Anyway, while we're talking, by the way, I'm constantly refreshing the background. So as soon as the game launches, you guys will know as well. And then there's loads to do. We'll set up the mini leagues. I'll let you guys know what the codes are. We'll check out the new game mode. All right, Odegaard, pretty mixed reviews. Let's see who's next. Who have we got here? Yeah, okay, we'll do Saka next. Saka, same price as Odegaard. What do we think of that? Saka, 8.5 mil. On penalties, Odegaard did score more, but Saka's on penalties. Out of 10, what would you rate him? 9 out of 10? 10 out of 10? His ownership's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? He's going to be so highly owned. I wouldn't be surprised if his ownership is close to Haaland's. So maybe that's another reason to double up Arsenal mid, because you're not going to gain much from Saka's points. And there's obviously a lot of points to be had from the Arsenal mids. So I think a double up with Odegaard. I don't know if you guys saw Martinelli, 8 mil. What do you think about Martinelli for 8 mil? Let's do a cheeky poll. Let's get a poll going on the Arsenal mids. Saka, 8.5. Odegaard, 8.5. I don't think we had any other Arsenal mids, but we had Havertz actually. What was Havertz? Was he 7 mil? Get your votes in on the best Arsenal mid. Martinelli, 10 out of 10. I guess the thing with Martinelli is it depends on Trossard, doesn't it? Because last season Trossard ended up starting a couple of games. He did really well when he was given opportunities. You want to get fplfocal in your team? Free kick monster. Can I find? I'm not going to find that clip now, am I? I'll never find that. That was one of the best moments of my life. For those of you that don't know, last season I got invited to play a football match at Anfield, and I scored a free kick from outside the box. Unbelievable. All right, the big one, Haaland, 14 mil. So Haaland's the 4th player ever to come in at 14 mil. It was Henry first. Henry actually did it a couple of times, which has never happened. And then it was Ronaldo. And then it was Van Persie. And then it's Haaland, over 10 years later. Thoughts on Haaland? Is he in your team? Is that, all right, actually, the question is there anyone not going Haaland? I think even at 14 mil, his ownership's going to be disgusting. I think he's going to be 80% plus, I would guess. 10 out of 10, perfect pricing. I agree, it's a good price. Boris says he should have been 14.5, deserved to break all records. Yeah, that's a fair shout. I mean, his points per game were ridiculous. Obviously, he wasn't the top scoring player of all time. I think he ended on 272 points. So Salah obviously has the all-time record, but class as a mid, obviously. Salah got 303 points. But yeah, I think he's one of few players that are locked in for me. FPL Prazim says, I'm so ready. I'm so ready as well. I think the launch is going to be any minute now. Based on past years, the game's updating. I'm refreshing it constantly in the background. And when the game updates, generally launch comes not long after. So I reckon the next 15 or so minutes the game will be live. They could be later. We'll have to see. Alright, so Haaland 14 mil. Yeah, I think he's going to end up in pretty much all teams. Let's move on to the next one. Rate out of 10. Watkins for 8 mil. Joseph says, hello Oscar, good to see you back. Thanks mate, good to be back, good to be back. I can't wait to get stuck in. I've already got a list of planned videos for the pre-season, and there's like 15 videos on there. So on that note, if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe, get involved. Loads of FPL content to come to help you all with your drafts and following the pre-seasons. I did a new series last season which was really popular, basically tracking all the pre-season games and who was in form and so on. And interestingly, there were a few players that smashed it last pre-season, like Almiron. Remember when Almiron went in that purple patch? He actually had one of the best pre-seasons. So that's going to be a series that you won't find anywhere else, unless other YouTubers start doing it as well. But another reason to subscribe. 5 out of 10 says Elvis and Aaron. Darth gives him a 7 out of 10. I mean, if he carries on or gets back to that patch of form he was in, then he's going to be a steal for 8 mil. But I think he's going to be a wait and see. I don't think he'll be in my team myself. Right, next one. This is an interesting one. We talked about him a bit at the start of the stream. Foden for 7.5 mil. Rate that out of 10. What do we think? Trophy, how we doing, mate? He says Foden at 7.5 is crazy. He's one of those players, and he's been like this every season. You have to catch him at the right time. And if you catch him at the right time, you're absolutely laughing. Like last season, Ali Jahangirov, who won the whole thing, he had Foden at the right time. There was that patch where he scored a goal, and then he got like a hat-trick the next week, and then he got a goal the week after. And then only a matter of 2 or 3 game weeks later, he was being benched, he wasn't starting. Do you guys remember that? Just out of nowhere, Foden wasn't playing any games. So he's one of those. But as we were saying at the start of the stream, De Bruyne, I think, has an injury. I wonder if Ben Dinnery's still updating Premier Injuries. That's a good website I recommend, premierinjuries.com. It's made by Ben Dinnery, and he tracks all the injuries throughout the season. I don't know if he updates it in the off-season. Let me see about De Bruyne. Thigh injury. The last update was a while ago. It's been a hard 2 months. He had a lot of problems with his hamstring and it snapped. Currently out. Potential return of 16th of August. Okay, so maybe that's only a couple of game weeks. We'll have to see what the latest is near Game Week 1 and what Pep says. But it sounds like he's not going to be involved in pre-season anyway. Ash in the chat, FPL Hints, how we doing? Good to see you, mate. Alright, so the poll results. Which Arsenal mid? 67% went Saka, 20% Martinelli. I'm surprised to see Ødegaard the lowest, 12%. Because he scored highest of the 3. I'll hit end poll so you can see the results there. Who else is spamming F5 while they listen to this stream or watch this stream? Anyone else spamming F5 right now? FPL Scran, how we doing? Good afternoon. Holly in the chat as well. Ødegaard the GOAT. Yeah, Ødegaard, I don't know if he'll replicate the heights of last season, but I think 8.5 is a great price. And a great fixture, right? Home to Forest, Game Week 1. So, I can see myself ending up with double Arsenal mids. Maybe Saka and Ødegaard. Maybe Martinelli. We'll have to see what happens in pre-season. I'm just a bit concerned about what happens with Trossard and whether he threatens his spot or not. Fladdy says I'm yawning. Alright, next one then. Fernandez, 8.5 mil. Rate out of 10. What do we think? Bruno, 8.5 mil. Rate that out of 10 as a pick. Is that his lowest price ever? It must be his lowest price since his first season, right? When he was 8 mil, I think. He completely broke the game that season, didn't he? He was averaging over 8 points a game, I think. But he joined in January. 8 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10. 6.5 out of 10 for Bruno. It's a good price. What's interesting, he's 8.5 and then Rashford's 9 mil. So an extra 0.5 mil for Rashford. So if you had to pick one, Rashford or Bruno, which one? Sloffertron says Bruno straight in, 10 out of 10. Delia says she hates that he's got such a low price because now I'm going to be tempted to own Bruno. Oh, can you see it? I don't know if you can see. I've got a cut on my nose. Earlier on I was trying to reach to get something under the bed and I had a complete brain fart and just like face planted the bed and my nose started bleeding. Right, FPL's not live yet. Still refreshing the background, so as soon as it goes live I'll let you know. But likewise in chat let us know. No trolling. We got Delia in the chat, so no trolling about the game going live, or you have to deal with Delia. You have to go through her. Right, move on to the next one then. This is an interesting one that only dropped like an hour or two ago. Maddison for 7.5 mil. Rate out of 10. 7.5 mil for Maddison. 1 out of 10 from Callum. It's a bit harsh. If we know he can be a very good pick. He can be. Is he going to be feeding balls to Kane though? That's the question. Yeah, Chef AB says depends if Kane stays. Be very, very interesting to see how Tottenham look. What happens if he leaves? Be an end of an era. Who plays through the middle? I guess it'd be Richarlison with Son and Kulusevski either side. Or maybe they sign a striker. 8.5 out of 10. Very low price for Maddison. 5 out of 10. Igor says, playing centre mid in a 4-3-3 makes him less appealing to me. I wish he was right wing. That would be good, but yeah, it's probably going to be Kulusevski playing there, who Spurs have bought this window. I think Kulu came in at 7 mil, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, next one. Botman, 4.5 mil. We haven't done any defenders yet. Rate out of 10. Some tough opening fixtures for Newcastle. They have Aston Villa Game Week 1. You could start him for that. Game Week 2, they've got Man City. Game Week 3, they've got Liverpool. Game Week 4, Brighton away. So they do have some tough games. The opening 4 are all pretty tough games, I would say. But he's only 4.5 mil. So maybe you can rotate him. Oh, did I miss some super chats? The FPL Cage says, hey man, thanks for subscribing to my channel the other day. Much appreciated as someone who's starting content this year. No worries. I'm looking forward to seeing how the series unfolds. Yeah, check out the FPL Cage, guys. Brand new channel. We work in graphics, right? Like 3D graphics. So it's completely new concept he's come up with. So I'm looking forward to following that. I love to see original content. And that's the way to do it. I think copying and pasting what others are doing doesn't actually get you as far. Like when I started doing FPL content, I did like videos like the all-time dream team, you know, the worst scores of all time, the highest scores of all time. What would Messi's record-breaking season look like if it was an FPL? Like stuff like that. I think you've got to do stuff to set yourself apart. And I think that applies to any niche really. But definitely YouTube. So 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10. It's just the fixtures. If you can rotate him, then I think he's a good shout. I know he does rotate quite well with Tarkowski. I don't know if I've got that tweet here somewhere. Right, next one. De Bruyne comes in at 10.5 mil. So Salah's 12.5 mil, and then after that, the next most expensive mid is De Bruyne for 10.5. Rate him out of 10 in chat. What do you think? I'm just going to prepare some more of these because I've got a few more players that I forgot to include. These two are good ones. I'm still refreshing FPL, by the way, so if it launches, you guys will know straight away. 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I suppose it depends on his availability, right? I think he's going to be a wait and see. I mean, we were saying earlier, I think one premium is going to be the way that most people go at the start of the season, so I think it's going to be hard to find room for him when you've got Saka, Ødegaard 8.5 mil, Bruno 8.5 mil, Son 9 mil. What about Trippier then? Top scoring defender last season. Didn't quite make the all-time dream team, but he had a really good season. And there was that patch of like 7 or 8 games where he didn't concede a single goal. Newcastle did. They conceded 1, but he went off the pitch by that point. So there was that run of games where he had like 8 clean sheets in a row, and obviously he got something like 6 or 7 assists. I think he scored once. So rate Trippier out of 10. Are you going to have him Game Week 1? Or is big at the back dead? 3 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Ash says 100% avoid trips for now. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Even with Tonali, the new signing. Don't know if I've said his name right. Tonali. Massive signing. Big statement. Newcastle are going to have a great midfield. Obviously, they're going to be competing in Europe, so that does apply to them. And obviously some other teams like Villa as well. So that is a factor. We have seen in the past when teams qualify for Europe, it does have a knock-on effect to them in the league. I remember way back, I think it was Everton that made European football, and they just had an absolutely woeful season in the league as a consequence. Because when you don't have the depth, it's quite hard to juggle that, obviously. Botman's the better pick. Yeah, I think I can see myself with Botman, probably not Trippier. Probably not. I saw Livramento's being linked with Newcastle, which is interesting. Chelsea have a buyback clause. I think it's 40 mil, but they've just signed a right back, and obviously you're competing with Reece James, so I think Livra is being linked with Newcastle. But again, he'd be back up to Trippier, but you know, Trippier maybe got a couple of years at the top left in him, whereas Livramento is very young. So I think most of us are in agreement there. Trippier, probably not worth it from Gameweek 1. Probably not. Do a few more. Sterling, 7 mil. I can't remember the last time he was that cheap. Rate Sterling for 7 mil out of 10. Is that a fair price, or are you still not going there? Obviously, Pochettino taken over Chelsea now. And we know he likes to play attacking football. If he can get the best out of Sterling, get him back to his peak, it'd be an absolute steal. But yeah, I think he's going to be a wait and see. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. 4 out of 10. Okay. Our chat's pretty divided on this one. Tempted. 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, I think for players like Sterling, it's going to be all about pre-season. Which, as I mentioned earlier, I've got a series on this channel where I'll be following the pre-season, and I'll be doing weekly updates on which players are in form, who's doing well in pre-season. Really, really essential content. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for that, because yeah, if someone like Sterling has an absolutely ridiculous pre-season under a new manager, he could easily be overlooked, and he could be an absolute bargain. But yeah, obviously bad season in 22-23, so I think he's an avoid for now, but we know the heights he can reach, how high his peak is. Ash in the chat, 8 out of 10, proven point scorer from Def. I don't think we're on talking terms yet, Ash, after last night. Sorry, mate. Dealey, can you ban Ash? Alright, let's move on to the next one. Back to Spurs. Son, 9 mil. Out of 10. Rate Son out of 10. For 9 mil. And this is what I was saying earlier. I think this season a lot of people are going to end up with one premium, because you've got Son for 9 mil. Again, obviously off the back of a bad season like Sterling, but you know, those two have the same thing in common. They have hit unbelievable peaks. You know, just a couple seasons back, Son shared the golden boot, didn't he? Is that right? Did Son get the golden boot 2 seasons back? Am I remembering that right, or was it Kane? Didn't he share it? It's a conflict of interest being a mod for both FPL Juice and Focal. It is actually, yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to work that one out. Yeah, he did. He got the golden boot. This is what I'm saying. So people were very quick to write players off, I think. I've just noticed the ticker at the bottom's got last season's. Let me just hide that. Is that going to mess it up? Oh, it is. I'll just leave it there. Well, I guess we've got Gameweek 38 scores there in case anyone was interested. Yeah, he shared the golden boot, right? One off season. I remember when I was making my Gameweek 1 draft videos for last season, I had Rashford for 6.5 mil in pretty much all my drafts. And I remember the comments like so confidently saying, why the hell have you got Rashford? Like, he's done. He's dusted at the top level. And then he goes and has an exceptional season. Sometimes it's just you need the right manager, that sort of thing. So I think Son's definitely one to monitor. I think he's going to be a great option if the new guy can get. I don't actually know much about the new manager. I think he was in charge at Celtic, and he's supposed to be a really good manager, Australian manager. What's his name again? So yeah, I'll be interested to see how Son does again in pre-season. Got a couple of cheap defenders, so let's start with this one. This one flew under the radar a bit as well, but rate out of 10. Is it Bayer or Bayer? Postecoglou, that's it. So this guy, he played 30 times for Burnley last season. 4 mil defender. Could be a very good enabler. We'll have to see again. if he gets the starts in pre-season. But I think he's one to monitor. There's obviously a couple of 4 mil defenders, so we'll have a look at the other one in a sec. But yeah, I think he's a good one. Probably flying on the radar. And these are the sort of players that you need. These enablers to afford all these players we want, like the Arsenal mids, Bruno, and obviously Haaland. Ash says Delia better not ban me. The relegated teams are swapped with the promoted teams on the Gameweek 38 scores. Oh yeah, you're right. Plan FPL set this up for me. Really good website, by the way, if you want to start tinkering already. He's been updating it with the prices as they release. And the other one was this guy, Bell. 4 mil as well, Luton defender. And last season he started in 43 out of 46 seasons. Games. 43 out of 46 starts for Luton last season. Only 4 mil. Obviously you'll be lucky to get clean sheets. I think it's going to be like another Nico Williams if he does carry on starting games, where, you know, they're 4 mil for a reason. If you're lucky, they'll start games consistently, but you'll be lucky to get a clean sheet. He did actually play in left wing back quite a bit, as well as centre back. So there's a chance that he becomes a good option. I think he even got a couple of assists. What am I being tagged in here? What's this? I can't reply to that now, Flandy. But yes, it's what I've been told. If you're still here. Right. Is the game still updating? Yes. Pokemon says, Oscar, third time lucky. When changing your team before the start, first game of the season, do the changes count as transfers? No, they don't. Anyone who says that's tricking you. Yeah, any transfers or changes you made once it starts don't count towards your transfers made. Same as a wildcard, by the way. So when you activate your wildcard, you can make unlimited changes and it doesn't affect your total transfers made. The only exception we had was last season when we had the World Cup. That worked slightly differently in that they gave us unlimited transfers while the World Cup was on. And actually, I don't know if anyone did it, but last season, if you made no transfers during the World Cup, you actually had 2 transfers coming out the other side. But I don't think anyone did because there was so much to change. I think Magnus Carlsen actually did. He forgot to change his team, so he literally rolled the transfer over the World Cup. Oscar, what do you think? What do you think whether we should have a few mils left in the bank, having picked up the 15 players? I mean, if you've built a good squad and you're happy with it and you've got money in the bank, there's not a problem with that. I think a few mil is probably too much to have left over. I've started seasons with 0.5 mil. But I think that's the most I've ever gone into Gameweek 1 with. Yeah, Ash, you're a Luton fan. What are Bell's chances of continuing to start games next season? Is he still nailed, or have you signed anyone as competition? Flandy says the game is updating and will be available soon. Thank you for the update, Flandy. And thank you for the 14 months as well. Yeah, keep your questions coming in. What do you guys think this new game mode is, right? They said there's a new format. What do you think that's going to be? I saw some people saying on Twitter, hopefully it's some kind of like a scout selection sort of game. Like every week they release the scout selection, don't they? Where they basically get unlimited transfers and pick the best team that they think is going to score the highest. So hopefully it's something like that. But yeah, it's pretty big that they're adding a new format, because the only game modes they've ever added was obviously draft, which is still in the game. I don't know if any of you have been around long enough to remember Ultimate FPL, but that's going back, I think it was 2014-15 or something like that. It was like a side game mode where I think you had more money, more players, and and you got points for things like recoveries. There was like loads of different rules. I think it was a bit ahead of its time. I think if they released that now, it'd do well, but I don't know if they'll go back to that again. And I think the other reason it didn't take off was because it was paid for entry. So I'm hoping they don't do that. I think it would be quite unpopular if they added a new game mode, but you have to pay to play it. Hopefully they never monetize FPL again. Maybe that's what the big update is. From next season, for £5 you can buy a wildcard. £10 gets you a free hit. £3 gets you a triple captain chip. Imagine the uproar. If anyone's not in the fplfocal Discord, I'll chuck a link in chat. This is what it looks like. There's over... What is going on here? There's over 10,000 people in here. So you've got channels like chat. Obviously they're going to be dead channels now, but once it kicks off, there's like price changes, there's lineups, live scores, live points, bonus points. And as I say, there's over 10,000 managers in there. So that's the link to join the Discord. Get involved. That would be awful. Yeah, they won't do that. I think the player base would half if they actually added paid for chips. Discord. I'm reading Discord on my phone. They're saying hi YouTube. I think you guys are too slow. So what do we think about the Mount signing then? I think that was announced today. Mount signs for Man United. Is he going to be an FPL option at all or not? Good signing or bad signing? Who got the better signing? Spurs with Maddison or Man United with Mount? What do you guys think? I'm not sure Mount's going to be a good FPL pick. I could see Maddison being a better pick. Money Mace. Bad signing. Giga, thanks for the super chat. I think I missed your other one as well. Hang on. In the 3 months. I am angry. Why are you angry? Because the game's not launched yet. You reckon Maddison was the better signing? Both good signings. Yeah, I think both good signings. Mount probably bad. Exactly as Pontus said, Mount's probably going to be a bad on FPL, but a good player. And I think Maddison will probably be both. But yeah, it depends on their role. And I suppose it could have a knock-on effect on Bruno as well, depending on how Ten Hag lines up. What about this one then? Timber. Here we go from Fabrizio. 40 mil to Arsenal. Good signing or not? Versatile player. He can play centre back or right back. Same as White. Flandy and Giga talking through super chats now. Flandy says hi Giga. 2 out of 10. Yeah, I wonder what he'll be priced. We haven't had much from Arsenal, but in defence, I think it was just Zinchenko. Zinchenko's 5 mil, which is a very tempting price. And I know that Tierney's been linked with Newcastle, wasn't he? So if that happens, then Zinchenko's completely nailed. Bit injury prone though, that's the thing. But yeah, the Arsenal back four is going to be hard to call now. I think Saliba's going to be 5 mil, which should be an interesting price. But yeah, what's the first choice back four though? Because you've got Gabriel that can play left centre back, left footed. Saliba and White and Timber can play right centre back. White, Tomiyasu and Timber can play right back. It's really just Zinchenko that's lacking competition, so maybe he's going to be the best of the bunch. Giga says, hello Flandy, are you angry? Another Arsenal signing then. What do you think of this one? Obviously from an FPL perspective, he's going to be pretty irrelevant, but huge signing. Record signing for Arsenal, 100 mil. Good signing for Arsenal. What do you guys think? Obviously Xhaka, I think, is on his way out to Leverkusen, I think. And Partey's being linked with the Saudi League. But yeah, huge signing. I really rate Rice. Whenever I crack open a Football Manager save, one of the first signings I try to make is Rice. But yeah, West Ham always ask a ridiculous amount on FM as well. Flandy says, I'm not Giga, are you? Not out of 10. Franco says, Rice baby. Overpriced. I reckon he'll be 5 mil, 5.5 max on FPL, but I think yeah, he's not going to be a good option on FPL. Waste of an Arsenal spot. I can definitely see myself going into Gameweek 1 with triple Arsenal, so I won't be using a spot on right. Oh, thanks for the 5 gifted membership, Sean. Giga says Giga is angry. Sean's gifted went to James, CH, Delia, Sam, and Derek. So if you got one of those, make sure to thank Sean. Thanks for that, Sean. Good to see you again. I hope you had a good break. Can't believe it's been 6 weeks since the last stream. Crazy. 9 says, are we sure it's coming out today? I'm 99.9% sure that it's coming out today. In fact, I think it's going to be very soon. Because the game's updating now, as you can see. And historically, when it updates, it launches fairly soon after, like within an hour. So I think we're coming up to an hour since it started updating. Oh yeah, Flanny says new members jump into Discord. So those of you that have just become a member, in Discord, if you link your YouTube account, there's a private channel for members only called The Lounge. So go check that out. I post my videos earlier in there and some other goodies. So yeah, thanks for that, Sean. What's everyone drinking? I'm on the Carabao. I'm not sponsored by the Carabao Cup, but I was doing my grocery shop earlier and they were on offer, so I'm on the Carabao. Is it an energy drink? You know you're running out of things to talk about when you're reading the ingredients on Carabao. Let's not do that. Sam's drinking water. What flavour is it? It's green apple. Green apple Carabao. It's one of those drinks, like you always hear about the cup name, but you're like, well, it actually is Carabao. It's not bad, actually. Oh yeah, it says on it, EFL Cup. Not bad. 63 calories per can. New Kiss is on the beer. Julian's on a H2O. Sammy says thoughts on Havertz. Yeah, we haven't talked about Havertz at all yet. I think he's a good signing for Arsenal. Obviously, he's had a mixed time at Chelsea, but Eddie really rarely missed of his transfers. So I completely trust in Arteta and all those involved in transfers. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he comes good. The problem is he's not going to be a good FPL asset unless he does somehow lock down a spot. But he's versatile. Like he can play down the right in Saka's spot. He can play through the middle. He can even play up top to come on for Jesus. So he's a good versatile signing. And that was something that was desperately missed last season in Saka's position especially. He was kind of running to the ground by the end of the season and slowed down. So I think Havertz is going to be is going to get a lot of minutes down the right side off the bench for Saka, and I'm sure he'll start some games as well through the middle. But yeah, I think good signing, but not in FPL terms. What do you guys think about Havertz? ABC says, welcome back, Oscar. On to my second year. No rookie mistakes for me, and no Barnes captain. Good luck. What is your opinion about Trent and Trips? Yeah, I forgot to include Trent on the when we were rating players. What do you guys think on Trent? 8 mil. Rate Trent out of 10. So for me, I think he's probably still going to make my team. I think he probably will. It is a lot to pay. I think at 7.5 he would have been in every team. So I think 8 mil is a good price, where some people are going to say it's too expensive. But I think he'll probably make my team. Again, pre-season is going to probably tell us a lot, because towards the end of last season, Klopp obviously changed things tactically, and he was playing as an inverted fullback, where he absolutely killed it at the end of the season. Very, very consistent returns. And it leaves him less exposed defensively there as well. So it depends if he continues with that. Obviously, Klopp's signed McAllister, Szoboszlai. So we'll have to see how Klopp lines up and what Trent's role will be. But If he carries on the same role, I think he's worth it. Obviously, it was a low-scoring season for Trent. I think they're going to have a much better season, Liverpool. So I think he's going to be a good option for 8 mil. So alright, in fact, I'll pitch that question to you guys. What's the top 4 going to be this season? Put the top 4 teams in order, 1 to 4. I'm going to go Arsenal number 1, Man City number 2, Liverpool 3rd, Man United 4th. What do you guys think? Top 4 this season. Meerkat says Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. Okay. Ollie says City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. Wow, okay. A lot of people back in Newcastle here. City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool. Everyone's back in City. City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Villa. City, Liverpool, Man United, Brighton. If De Zerbi takes Brighton to 4th. City, United, Liverpool, Spurs. Arsenal first is cuckoo land stuff. It is. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I had to give a biased answer. I would be amazed if we do, but we've made some good signings. So who knows what's possible. You know, last season there was belief for the vast majority of the season. And it kind of crumbled towards the end. Alright, who do you guys support? What team do you support? Do you support a Premier League team or a non-league team or a team from another league, or are you a neutral? Let us know in chat. What team do you support? Villa, Reading, I'm a Gooner, Newcastle baby, Barcelona, Portsmouth with a sad emoji, Cheltenham. I went to uni in Cheltenham. Chelsea, a lot of Chelsea fans. Real Madrid, quite a few Real Madrid fans as well. Loads of Real Madrid fans. Thank you, Wazza, for becoming an fplfocal member. I almost missed that. Thanks for that, Wazza. Love the name, Wazza. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Yeah, if anyone's interested in becoming a member, it's the join button below the stream, or there's links in the description. You get early access to my videos if you're a member. There's a private channel, Discord. You get a little badge by your name, all sorts of goodies. So yeah, and it supports the channel as well. It lets me do this full time, so I appreciate the support. Everton, Leeds, Porto, Olympiacos, Chesterfield, West Ham, Al Nassr. What do you guys think about the Saudi League and some of the business that they've got over the line this window? So who have they signed this window? Benzema was a big one. Neves was a surprising one. I feel like he was just hitting his peak for Wolves. Can the Saudi League become a big main league, or no chance? Kante, yeah, Kante, Brozovic. You think they kill the game? No chance. They're so they can't be in the Champions League, obviously. So I think that's going to always be a big miss because the Champions League is so massive. Yeah, I do think that's always going to be a factor, unless they come back with the Super League. But I hope to God that doesn't happen. Animation time in the chat. Just looked your channel up. 1.84 million subscribers. Good to see you in the chat. It'll be like China. Yeah, China went through that spell of signing lots of players. Most of them towards the end of their career, but like big names. But then I think they introduced rules to cap that, so then it slowed down, didn't it? If there's any sidemen watching right now, make yourself known. I noticed KSI followed me the other day. That was pretty awesome. But the Sidemen have banned getting help from content creators on FPL now because they have like a high stakes league. I don't know if they still do it, but last season I think it was, or the year before, the loser had to pay for a holiday for everyone. And I helped one of them get off the bottom spot in the league. And I think that's why they introduced the rule. Durable says Oscar. What Durable? What's going on? Flanny says, good job that Kieran is not a mod on Discord anymore. Is he actually not? I thought he was. He got banned on Discord, but then he came back. He should film at Miniminter's new garden pitch. Has he got a pitch in his garden? Just seen a funny pic on Discord. Let me pull this up. We're all here for the low ID, right? Even though it means absolutely nothing. Anyway, the game's not launched yet. I'm still refreshing the background, so the second it launches, you guys will know. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Kieran is a mod. I thought he was. TF McGee says, great to have you back on FPL, Oscar. Good to be back. Yeah, I had a really good break. I went away with my girlfriend to Crete, and then I went to Glastonbury Festival. That was unbelievable. Never disappoints. It was only my second year, to be fair, but it was as good as the first year. Unbelievable. Elton John headlining. So that was good. Yeah, I'm feeling refreshed and ready to jump back in. Are there any players for you guys that are locked in already? Straight away. Oh, my little brother's watching the stream. How we doing, bro? No, it's not launched yet. Mark from Premier FPL Tools got his son refreshing for him. Unbelievable. I feel like it's any minute now. What do you guys think? Lundstrom is the first player locked in from you. Haaland? Haaland and Saka. Yeah, I think those are probably my two as well. And then one of the 4-mil defenders, Bayer or Bell. Haaland. Yeah, it's got to be Haaland. I think he's going to be the first name. Little tip for you guys. When you're registering your team, press auto pick and then press confirm, and it will lock in your ID quicker. Because if you launch it and then you start picking your 15 players, you don't get an ID until you confirm your team. So hit auto pick, press confirm, that locks your team straight in, and then you're free to make all the changes afterwards. Maybe auto pick will pick you a good team anyway. Stones, okay, interesting. Stones is locked in. Sean with the 9 months, thank you for that, Sean. He says, do you know any players or managers that watch you? I don't actually, but there's obviously quite a few Premier League players that blatantly watch FPL content. I don't know whether they watch mine or not. Do you guys remember last season? I was doing the Saka updates. Let me try and find... Saka so blatantly watches FPL content. Let me try and find it. Yeah, like, look at this. This was Saka's team. Full on sweat. He had like the two Brighton mids like March and Mitoma when everyone else did. He had Rashford, Salah. He had Saka owned himself. He had Haaland, obviously Watkins when Watkins was good. Such a sweaty FPL team. Like Saka blatantly watches FPL content. Don't know whose. Maybe mine. Maybe Andy's FPL mate, Harry, Ross. FPL Hint says if it doesn't launch during UK business hours today, then it'll have to be tomorrow. Nah, no chance. I think it's today. I mean, if it doesn't, but I think based on it updating, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to launch today, very soon. FPL Big says this is getting ridiculous. I'm starving. Has anyone skipped eating to try and catch a good ID? I've not had dinner yet. As soon as the game launches, like we'll start tinkering, making a team. We'll check out this new format, and then as soon as the stream wraps up, much later. yeah, I'll make a video. I'm not sure what video to do first. I might do like 20 players to avoid, or I might do my first draft. What would you like to see first? Do you guys have any preference? I might just do 20 players to avoid and give myself a bit longer to think about like what team I actually want to start with, rather than just throwing one together for the sake of it. Fella in the chat, how we doing, Dan? He said, I just had to urinate in a Huel bottle. You know what? FPL's a numbers game. Someone out there is pissing in bottles and wearing a diaper. It's a numbers game. Someone is. There was like 11 million managers last season. Someone's got to be doing it. So these are the past FPL winners. Ali Jahangirov. I don't know if you guys saw, but last season he actually came on my channel. It was only about, it must have been like Gameweek 30 or so, and he was first in the world at the time. And I've had people on the channel before who were first, and none of them had gone on to win it. So I started to worry that it was a curse, that people that came on the channel didn't go on to win it. But he did. He only went and done it. Ali Jahangirov. So he finished with 2,776 points, which was the second most points ever from a champion. Jamie Piggott obviously got the most. I think that season was when they gave us an extra free hit and all that. So that was the COVID season, wasn't it? Or one of the COVID seasons. But I suppose last season we had the unlimited transfers, so it goes both ways. But yeah, what's interesting, FPL's first ever winner, Graham Haddo, didn't break the 2k points mark. So if you finished with 1,940 points last season, that would put you about 6 mil. 6 mil overall. So it shows how much harder the game's got as it's grown. A video on differentials, yeah, that's a good shout. I think that's on my list. I've got a list of videos. Players to avoid. Are you able to sign in? I'm already signed in, but the game's updating, so I don't know what happens after. If you're already signed in, then you probably stay signed in. Otherwise, you'll have to sign in after. Oh, that went down the wrong way. Carabal's not the one. Should have stuck to Pepsi Max. What are the odds that it launches at 5 o'clock on the dot? Few Man City prices from today. De Bruyne we touched on earlier. What do you think about the others here? So Grealish, 7.5 mil. Stones, 5.5 mil. Bernardo Silva, 6.5 mil. The other one was Foden, also 7.5 mil. This video is sponsored by Pepsi Max. Flandy, thank you for the 5 gifted. Those went to Please Work, Michael Bartels, Colm Bugler, Big Randoman, and Savio. If you got one of those from Flandy, make sure you thank him. Thanks for the 5 gifted, Flandy. Appreciate that. And another 5 gifted. If you get any of these, make sure you thank Flandy as well. Those went to Lazabi Shorts, David, Fracture, Stephen, and Sam. What emoji do we spam in the chat when someone does gifted memberships? Just focal emojis? So we just spam focal emojis or teddy emojis. But yeah, thanks for that, Flandy. Thanks for the 10 gifted there. So yeah, to all those new members, welcome. As I said earlier, if you're a member, on Discord you get access to a channel for members only, where I post like videos early and that sort of thing. Is there any other prices to go through here? Oh yeah, there's one. Bear with me. Trying to pick out some good ones to talk about. Ah yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, we want that one. We want that one. Let's start with Man United. So Dallo, excuse me, comes in at 5 mil. Shaw 5.5. Rashford 9 mil. What do you guys think of these? Rashford 9 mil. Sancho 7 mil. Sancho, he's going to be one of those in the 20 players to avoid video, guaranteed. Dallo probably as well. Shaw and Rashford, I think, are viable. Flandy, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Holy. Thank you so much. Those went to Dave. Hang on, didn't Dave? Oh no, that was David. Alright, David and Dave have got one now. Tushar, Steve, Wheelie, Jamie Barrett. Kieran got one. I'll give you a refund on Kieran's. Igor got one. Cameron, Pontus, and Mutalib Dahir. Thanks for that, Flandy. Unbelievable. Yeah, what do you guys think of Rashford for 9 mil? Yes or no? In or out? In fact, we'll do a little poll for that. Get your votes in. Flandy the GOAT. Yeah, Flandy's gifted 20. Thanks for that, Flandy. Sean with the 5 gifted. Alright, let's spam the focal emojis in the chat then to say thanks to Flandy and Sean. They've gifted like 35 memberships between them. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. Sean's memberships went to Tom, Tushar, Kinga. Can't find who got the others. Thanks for that, Sean. It is worth spamming the emojis, by the way, because I think it prioritises people that are active in chat. Longest update ever, I know. I mean, it's classic FPL, isn't it? It's like last season. Sometimes you spend like an hour waiting for the game to update. Okay, got another one here. Gakpo comes in at 7.5 mil, but he's been reclassified as a forward. What do you think? Yeah or nah? So the poll results for Rashford for 9 mil. 48% yeah, 52% nah. I wonder if that means Rashford will end up about 48% ownership. No chance. People are crazy today. It's a crazy day. FPL is going to launch. We hope. No way. 4 out of 10, too much rotation. Yeah, that's the thing. So they've got Darwin, Diaz. It depends where he plays, obviously. There's Jota. There's a lot of competition for the front three. And then obviously there's Saka, who's pretty much a lock. So, yeah, I think he's going to be an avoid myself. Alright, let's move on to Brighton. Mixed bag of prices here. Estepinian, 5 mil. March, 6.5. Gross, 6.5. Welbeck, 6. Any of those tempting? Interestingly, they didn't reveal Wilson's price as far as I'm aware, so we don't know what Wilson's going to be, but I reckon he'll be 8. Because Isak's 7.5. What we saying in chat? Estepinian easy. Yeah, 5 mil. I think he's likely to make his way into my team. Because Brighton's fixtures, they've got Luton Town home in Gameweek 1, and then Wolves, not bad. West Ham, not bad. Newcastle home, could be tough. But their opening fixtures aren't bad, and obviously he's got the attack and returns in him. Like even against Arsenal, there was that game last season where I think he got 1 goal, 1 assist, maximum bonus. Nah, Saka's not on a void, 100% not. Saka's in. I'm likely to have Saka come Gameweek 1, I think. João Pedro. Yeah, the Brighton forward situation's a bit messy now. Welbeck and avoid, I would say. I think March and Gross probably avoids as well. The one that's not here is Matoma, who's 6.5 as well. Let's do a poll on Matoma. Get your votes in. Yeah, exactly. So they got Ferguson. He's going to be the one I'm interested in. I think he's probably going to emerge as first choice, but he's obviously still really young. I think he's like 18 or 19. I'm reading Discord, by the way. Those of you messaging in chat. Big Mac Silver says, focal lad. Someone's posted a screenshot from the stream, Nizuri. As I said earlier, if you guys aren't in Discord, there's a link in the description to join that. There's something like 10,000 members. Or 11,000 members, so make sure you join if you're not in there. It's got automated channels for stuff like bonus points and price changes once the season kicks off. THJD says, how much do you think Szoboszlai will be, and do you think he's a good asset? I'll be honest, I don't know loads about him. I don't think he's going to be a good asset. I imagine he'll play in midfield, but he can play. He's pretty versatile. I think he could even play Salah's position, right? I think he can play down the wing. I reckon it'll be about 7 mil. Maybe a little bit more than McAllister. I don't know if he'll take free kicks off Trent. Trent's delivery is just too good. I just can't see it. I hope not, because that could also have a knock-on effect to corners, which Trent always takes from the right side. Sometimes even the left side, depending on if Robertson's up to it or if he's looking knackered. Sometimes Robertson just says, like, I can't, you take this one. Proper baller, says Aritravo. The game is live. The game is live. FPL is live. Boom. We are live. FPL is live. Go. Let me quickly tweet. My team is just called Team. Everyone go make a team, quick! Hit auto pick. Don't do your whole 15 players now. Hit auto pick. Right, to answer that question, Szoboszlai is 7 mil. Called it. Bang. 7 mil. Where's the new game mode? Home. Pick team. I knew it was about to launch. You already done your team. What's my ID? 946. My ID is embarrassing. No, that's a top 1k ID. I'll take that. I'll take that. What ID did you all get? To check your ID, click on Gameweek history on the right hand side. I don't know if you can do it on the app or not. Is this going to work if I change that? Bear with me. Is that working? Oh, yes. There we go. I wasn't sure if this would work across into the new season or not. Boom, there we go. I wrote like a custom CSS layout to make the stream look a bit cleaner. Right, who got the best ID? Matt got 41. Holly got 118. Fred got 71. 120 for Hyper. Mine was like 960, so mine's not great. 361. 4. You got ID 4. There's no way. Let me check if you're telling the truth. You are. Fair play. ID of 4. That is rapid. 4th player in the world. Rapid. Server down. Is actually. So, defenders. Yeah, Mings for 4.5 mil was actually pretty tempting. If you can just start someone else in Gameweek 1. Where's the new game mode though? The new format. FAQs. Don't see it there. There's nothing there about the new game mode. Is it just me? There's nothing there, is there? Alright, let's pick teams. Alright, let's put Trent in. I'm not going with James. I'm taking James out right now. Van Dijk's 6 mil. I guess that's about right, because Robertson's 6.5. Cancelo. Cancelo. I thought Cancelo left. Signed by Bayern. Estepinian, he's got to come in. I'm on triple City defence here. Oh, he hasn't left City yet. It's just a loan. Oh, I thought they signed him. So Haaland's in. Yeah, Wilson 8 mil. I thought he might be. Let us know in chat if you spot any gems or anything like that. I thought they had signed him after the loan. Sure, he doesn't come back and play for them. Maybe he does. Right. Alvarez 6.5 mil. That's an interesting price if he gets more minutes. Let's have a look at the mids. So, I think we've had all of these already. Almiron 6.5. Yeah, and Bumo's an interesting one. I suppose he'll still play down the wing. Ferguson's 6 mil. Good spot. Where is he? To check your ID, go to Gameweek history on the right hand side. And then it's the number in the URL. They didn't change the rule about points locking one hour after the last game of the day. Yeah, I didn't think they would, to be honest. They've always had that rule in place. Right, get rid of Trossard. There are only 4.5 mil forwards that might get minutes. Or likewise any 4 mil defenders. Surridge, Semenyo, Sims, Archer. Not looking likely. Balogun, I wonder what's going to happen with him coming back, because he's absolutely smashed it in the French league last season. Smashed it. I don't know if he ended up winning the Golden Boot, but he was in the race. But I don't think I'll use an Arsenal spot on him, to be honest with you. I remember a couple seasons back having Connolly, and he was like 4.5. I think he went out on loan, and he's back now, but yeah, not really an option. He's probably like 3rd or 4th choice forward right now. Lamptey's 4 mil. That's an interesting one. Yeah, let me... Oh, where's the league gone? It's gone. Am I going to have to make a new league? Huh? Create a league. What was it called? youtube.com/fplfocal. Oh, that's well annoying. I've probably lost all those people that were in it. Create. Boom. Wait, where is it? Oh, is it down? I don't see it. What? Did you see that? I just created it and it's not there. Renew your leagues. Oh. Oh. Renew. Renew. Whoops, do I have 2 now? Ah, no. Which one's the right one? Okay, so it's the top one to delete. I need to make sure I delete the right one now. Okay. Top one to delete. Okay. Options. Administer. Delete league. Delete. Please tell me I deleted the right one. There we go. Right, so what's the code then? Invite. There it is. I'll chuck the auto join in chat as well and pin it. I'm just going to update on Discord as well. Give me 2 seconds to update the mini league channel with the new code. So that's that one there. There's 3 leagues. There's the main one, there's the Discord one, and then there's the head-to-head league. Leagues, Discord. This one's not for you guys. Don't join the Discord one. Unless you're on Discord. And what was the last one? The head-to-head. Where's that again? Invitational. I don't see it. I'm just going to delete it for now. Okay, bang. Let me do a quick announcement. I think that's what we've done here. Boom, there we go. Right. The app is working, good. I'll just tweet my code as well, or my team. Do that. Copy that. Right. Administer. Bear with me. Not very good at multitasking. I just wanted to tweet my team on mini league code. There we go. Bang. Is that the right link to auto join still? There we go. Oh wait, what? The wrong code on it. And then we'll get to building the team. Right, bang. I think that's it. Right, we're back. Caicedo's 5 mil. Matty Cash 4.5 mil. Lamptey at 4 mil is interesting. Giga with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for that. Thanks so much, Giga. Those went to Harry Football, João Miranda, Eric, Jojful, Complete Hypnosis, Yash, Mackie, Tom, Daniel, Isa. Ahmad's 4.5. I don't know how much Ahmad will start though, will he? Thanks so much for that, Giga. Appreciate that. Thank you. Right, let's see if we can piece together a draft here then. I think I want to have Shaw. We know that he's 5.5. I think he's going to be worth it because they've got some pretty nice opening fixtures. Any 4 mil defenders worth having that you can see? John in the chat. How are we doing, John? It says never goes to me. I don't know why it's biased against you. It normally awards them to whoever's active in chat. Bell. I want to have the buyer from Burnley. I think he might be better if he's playing. Spence is 4 mil. Interesting. To see your ID, go to Gameweek history. Alex Moreno's 4.5. No way is he. No, he's 5 mil. Gusto's 4 mil. Yeah, if James is injured, because Loftus-Cheek filled in at right back and right wing back before when he's been injured, but obviously he's left for AC Milan. So yeah, good point. If James gets his annual injury, then yeah, Gusto for 4 mil. Right, midfielders. So let's take Havertz out. I think I want to have Saka and Ødegaard, but can I fit in Bruno and Son? I think Bruno I want to have. There are only 4.5 mil mids that look good. You guys seen any 4.5 mil mids? It's not much here. We're not going to have an Andreas this season, are we? Giga, thank you for the gifted membership, which went to Lewis. Thanks for all the gifted memberships. Appreciate that. Thank you. You're going with Jesus. Interesting. Yeah, all the 4.5 mil. We were so lucky with Andreas. I think he's 5.5 mil now, which shows just how good he was. Like, for a 4.5 mil player to get 4 goals and 10 assists is unheard of. I don't remember that. I don't remember ever having one like that for 4.5 mil midfield. Like, we've had players go through purple patches, but he had a great season all the way. I remember Todd Cantwell, when Norwich came up, was really good for 4.5. He smashed it at the start of the season and then fell off, as did like Pookie and others. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Giga. Those went to Okez, Plasma, Anime, Glenn, and Andy. Thank you for that. Thanks for all the gifted. Thank you so much. Rice is 5.5 as well. Yeah, no chance. I don't know if any of these will play. I'll just put Chukwuemeka in for now. Yeah, Andreas is 5.5 mil. Willie asks how to join the private channel. Yeah, if anyone just became a member, on Discord, go into settings and then go to connections and then just log into your YouTube account there. And then you'll see the channel automatically called The Lounge. What's the Geekkeeper situation looking like? What? They've all got the same shirt. What's going on here? They've all got green shirts. I guess they haven't. That's just a default shirt with a crest on. Wissa's a 6 mil forward. Yeah, he could be an interesting one while Tony's out, because Tony's not back till like game week 19. Obviously suspended for a long time. To check your history, go to pick team. Sorry, go to home and then go to game week history, and then your IDs and the URL. Right, goalkeepers. Pickford could be a good shout. Who's the Everton backup and how much does he cost? Oh, I thought they had Olsen or somewhere else. That could be I mean, look at their opening 4. It's not bad, is it? Home against Fulham, away to Villa. That's tough. Home to Wolves, away to Sheffield. That could be a nice rotation, just Pickford and Virginia, because you're unlikely to want to have triple Everton, so you could have 2 in goal, right? So that leaves me with 7.5. I'm not having Sancho though. So, can I afford Son? Son, 5.5. Oh, you know what? Gabriel's 5 mil. How does that make sense? How am I triple? Oh, Balogun. That's surprising, because Gabriel was top among all defenders for expected goals last season. Daily Reviewer says you got a proper radio voice. Is that a compliment? I've been told my voice is pretty monotone. I can't really argue with that in the videos, because every video I record, I write up what I'm going to say, and then I read off it. So it lets me like talk really concisely, but the trade-off is that I'm reading, so sometimes it sounds pretty monotone. Yeah, Ben White for 5.5 mil. Gabriel for 5 mil. Unless his position's up in the air, I think that's a bargain. I think that's a really good price. As I said, he was top among all defenders last season for XG. Alex says, what Chrome extension? It's called... Well, it's a custom extension. It's called Stylish. And then I wrote some custom CSS to make it look a bit cleaner for streams. So if I just go like that. Confirm. See, it looks quite clean now like that. It's not like a public CSS, but the add-on's called Stylish, and it lets you like manipulate how websites look. What do you think of that for a first draft? I think that's alright. Actually, the bench is pretty weak. I've got 0.5 mil on the bank. I think that's a good start. I mean, that midfield is a joke, isn't it? I mean, look at that midfield. Son, Ødegaard, Bruno and Saka, and I've still got Haaland. Just depends on Ferguson, I suppose. I've got 0.5, so I could go Ferguson to Alvarez. I'll actually really like that as a first draft. That's solid. 0.5 mil though. Do I upgrade Bayer? I think I have to. Because otherwise I've got nothing on my bench. Unless there's any 5 mil mids. No Salah, says Kingrave. I think, based on how generous some of the pricing is, I think 1 premium is going to be the way to go. I just think if I got Salah, it just burns through so much money. Like, I'm suddenly minus 3.5. So where do I find that 3.5? You have to go no Trent. But then if you go Trent to 4.5, like, what's better? Bruno and Trent, or Salah and a 4.5? Probably Bruno and Trent, isn't it? I would say. Yeah, what happened to the new format though? I'm still confused about that. Remember they talked about the new format? Should I tweet? Where's the new format? There's no new format, is there? They said there was going to be a new format. Maybe it comes later or something. Or maybe they're adding it later in pre-season. I mean, I'm happy with that as a first draft. I think I'll have to upgrade Chukwuemeka or Bayer, because otherwise the bench is too weak. We need those tackle points. 5 mil for Kovacic. Yeah, I don't know he's going to be a consistent starter though, so probably not worth it. But yeah, that's not a bad price at all. Who was the guy that Bournemouth signed? Kluivert, right? Dutch guy, 5 mil, but yeah, I don't know. His numbers weren't very good, were they? John says, Oscar, this season it's going to be the 1EM 352. I think you're right, John. I think so. Caicedo's 5 mil. I'm pretty happy with this as a starting point. Maybe Botman would be the other 4.5, like that. I mean, that's pretty solid, isn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with that. Oh. Pickford vice captain, probably not. Save that. There we go. Let's tweet that. First draft. If anyone's not following me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, at fplfocal. That's the wrong team, innit? Not that one. There we go. Right. Should I keep streaming? I feel like I want to crack on and do a video. What do you guys think? Keep going? Or work on a video? Because as soon as I stop the video, basically I'm going to start doing video content. So, it's up to you guys. If you have more questions, keep them coming. There's still like a good 1,500, 1,400 tuned in. Umar says he's FPL ID 1. Fair play if you're telling the truth. Find us some gems. Yeah, maybe Whistle. He was mentioned earlier. If he's the one playing striker in Tony's absence for like 6 mil. Good price. Maybe Bell for 4 mil from Luton. As I said, he started 43 games last season and he's a 4 mil defender. Who should be my goalkeepers? I've got Pickford and Virginia. I'm going to have a deeper dive into the goalkeepers and the rotations and so on. I'm guessing we don't have any 4 mil keepers like last season with the whole Ward and Iverson combo. Is this team confirmed? Well, it's my team right now, but I'm probably going to have a million more drafts before I'm done. John loves a poll. He says, keep going or video. Alright. What next? Make a video. Continue streaming. Whatever you guys vote for, I'm going to do. So I'll go make a video next, or I'll carry on streaming. I've got a million video ideas written down, so whenever the stream wraps up, I'll crack on with them. But Umar is genuinely #1. Fair play, Umar. Fair play. That's a great ID. Not that you get much for that, but that's a great ID. Continue streaming. Alright, we'll carry on streaming. Keep your questions coming then. What would you guys like to know? You got any questions about FPL? I've got a document on my desktop which maybe I should dig out. I try and look at it a few times a season. It's called FPL Lessons. And it's just like stuff I've learned over the years that I kind of like to remind myself because sometimes you forget. I'll read a few of them out. First one is have a plan and stick to it. I think it's very easy to like put a plan in place and then you get to the next game week and you're like, oh no, screw this, I want to move on to the next shiny toy. But that's a good one. Have a plan and stick to it. Obviously plans can change, but don't just change it for the sake of it. A new one I added last season is that algorithms can be slow to update. Like last season when Haaland joined, some of the points projection sites were a bit slow to catch up on these projections. So that's less applicable this season because there's not any big names joining in the same way. Use clean sheet odds for goalkeepers and low ceiling defenders. So I tend to use the clean sheet odds every time I've got a 50-50 between two defenders. In this case it's less applicable with this current defence because these have all got attacking potential. But say if I had Botman and Tarkowski who rotate quite well, and I would just look at the clean sheet odds to pick which one. If you get a high rank, play like you're still chasing. So back when I had like a couple of weeks at #1 in the world, I started playing defensive and it ended up my undoing. So if you get to a high rank, play like you're chasing. Consolidating can go wrong. Another one is hits don't pay off most of the time. It's a big gamble and most of the time a completely unnecessary one. I think some of you might disagree with that, and this one's just personal experience, but I've never had much joy with hits. For me anyway. More often than not, they're not going to make up the 4 points. Avoid bandwagons. So this one's very applicable at the start of the season because there's going to be so many bandwagons. There's going to be a random player who hauls in Gameweek 1 and everyone's like, oh, should we hop on this player? But you have to kind of assess early players early? Doesn't make sense. Bandwagons. Sometimes there are genuine bandwagons, but every season there's a random player who smashes it the first week. Who was that Brentford mid last season? Began with a B, I think. It was a 4.5 mil Brentford mid, and I think he scored in the opening 2 games. Oh, what was his name? Anyone know who I mean? That Brentford mid, he was 4.5. Da Silva, that was it. So Da Silva scored in the opening 2 games, and his total XG was like 0.1 or something. So it was massive overperformance. Everyone hopped on him, and then he quickly lost his spot in the team anyway. So that was a bandwagon and a waste of the transfer. You don't want to be wasting a transfer on a 4.5 mil bandwagon, right? What else have I got here? Historical results aren't clear evidence of future outcomes. Like there was a run where City scored 4 more goals against West Ham for like 6 games in a row. And that doesn't mean the next one's going to happen again. And the next game after that ended 1-1. This one you might disagree with. I've got don't rotate goalkeepers because you get save points in tougher games. I used to rotate like 4.5 mils. Definitely don't rotate like 5 mil keepers. You're better off just having, in my opinion, a 4.5 and then a 4 mil backup. So in my case, I've got Pickford and Virginia here. I don't know if I'll end up with them come game week 1. But on the unlikely chance something happens to Pickford, then you still got a backup who will play. So I prefer that because then you've got 9.5 mil on guaranteed keepers. Identify captain picks a few weeks in advance. That's a good one as well. But yeah, this season is going to be interesting because a lot of people are on the 1 premium, myself included in this draft. But the problem is if Haaland doesn't play or there's a leak that he doesn't start, then where do you go for captaincy instead? Yeah, I guess that one with Haaland around is less applicable. But in the past, you want to plan who you're going to captain. But yeah, I guess like Haaland's set and forget captain right now. Anyway, hope that's helpful. It's a long document, but those are some of the tips on there. Any other ones? Oh, this one's good. Have a core group of players and trust them long term. So in this team, there's quite a good core here, like Haaland, Odegaard, Saka, Bruno, Son. I would probably want to trust all of those. Even if they start slowly, you know, even if they don't return in the opening 2, I'd still like to give them a 3rd week because they're the core players. Trent's a core player. You know, if Trent concedes in the opening 2, but Liverpool look promising, then I would still trust him. Right, I'm going to go and crack on to a video for you guys. So that will be out this evening. I appreciate all of you that tuned in. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, hit like, subscribe to the channel. Loads of pre-season content to come. So thank you all who made it to the stream. Enjoy tinkering with your teams. I'll be back later this evening with an FPL video. And probably every day for the next few weeks. Maybe a day off here and there. I have got a wedding on Friday, so I'll have to try and manage around that. Not my wedding, but I've got a wedding to go to, so I'll figure that out. Anyway, thanks all. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Make sure you subscribe as I say, and look out for the video coming this evening. Focal out.